Hey Narwhals, and welcome back to some more weight loss stories. Only a small percentage of our viewers actually subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind later, so please tap subscribe to join the original 100k Narwhals. Anyone feel like they need to leave their family to become healthy? Title: I honestly should move out anyways, but one of the main reasons would be because my family is just so unhealthy. And back in college a few years ago when I was living on my own, I was doing very well. I hit the gym 6 or 7 days a week, meal prepped, and was actually losing weight and feeling way better. Since I moved back home, my health has slowly declined. I probably gained a good 20 to 30 pounds. I myself know I can make good habits, but when I'm in this environment with my family, it just drags me down. Before anyone tries to tell me, this is a good time to get your family healthy too. Stop. Save it. For all intents and purposes, when it comes to health, my family is a lost cause. My family, at a fundamental level, does not understand that to be healthy requires some level of sacrifice. When I would shop by myself, I always bought healthy foods with one occasional junk piece. Now though, my mom will buy literally friggin' whatever if it's on sale, or even if it isn't. I just had to get them. No, you didn't. I literally cannot have junk food in the house because I will devour it immediately. So this has led me to essentially conclude that I need to move out if I actually want to be healthy. This environment is toxic, and I'm old enough to where I should be moving out anyways. I just needed to rant. Anyone else ever deal with this before? This is the thing. Since you're living there, I understand how you feel because I'm in the same situation. Now, don't get me wrong, my mom cooks everything from scratch and cooks healthy food throughout the week. However, she definitely buys a lot of snacks, and sometimes I wish she wouldn't because then I eat it. But I can't expect the entire household to conform to what I want to eat. I don't get to decide what they can or cannot eat or judge them for it. So, if you feel so strongly about it, the only option you have is to move out, which is perfectly fine, and I would do the same thing if I could. I wouldn't even buy the snacks. It's the same for me. I live alone, so I buy and cook what I like, and I'm healthy. When I go back to my family, I tend to overeat a lot because they eat meats and carbs for every meal. My mother cooks vegetables exclusively in cream sauces. They also like to comment on why I haven't exercised yet as the day goes on, which does not help with motivation at all. I started eating my meals alone after they're done. It sucks because I love them and enjoy to spend time with them, but it's the only way to keep myself in check. Yeah, basically, you should move out for your health and your relationship with your family. You can't make other people eat healthily, so if you feel like having all this food in the house is bad for you and you're able, you should move out, in my opinion. It's also pretty normal to feel annoyed by your family when you return home from university. You're used to complete control, and you have to give that up when you go back home. I would ask yourself why you don't feel able to have something in the house without eating it. Because it's highly unlikely you'll be able to go your whole life without ever buying junk again, and it would be better if you could consume it healthily. Regardless, if moving out is an option for you, I'd seriously consider it. I'm African and my family is big on family meals. My mom cooks delicious food, but strongly believes in not leaving your plate empty. Made me cry one day because I couldn't finish my plate. And ever since I've started my weight loss, they've actually been extremely supportive. Only problem is that once I sit with them at the table, I absolutely lose all my control and discipline I worked so hard on. And not even my friends make me feel like that. I just feel so stressed with my parents that I tend to overeat and not count. So yeah, moving to another city literally helped me so much. I appreciate bites of my meals and savor them. I've become aware of how much food is enough, and I've gotten rid of my sugar cravings, except for Reese's Cups. If you feel like you're able to keep up with your food routine, and you're an adult, I think moving out will work with you too. I believe no matter what life throws at you, it's the reaction to life that makes a person great. Your family buying junk, friends bringing over cake, going to a restaurant with good and bad choices, etc. Temptation is everywhere. I don't think it's right to blame the source of the temptation. Don't blame yourself either. I don't want to tell you to suck it up and don't eat it. It all can be so tempting. I totally understand that. I suggest see it as a challenge. See how you can avoid that temptation and continue with your healthy eating. You're not a mindless dog that eats everything in sight, but a human being who can stop themselves. Just the same as you wouldn't buy cake at the store, don't eat cake in your home. My family also brings in tons of unhealthy groceries and takeout. I feel a compulsion to eat. If it's there, it's meant to be eaten, right? I've devoted a small section of our pantry and fridge to myself. It's where my food lives. The rest of the fridge and pantry is theirs, and I've made it off limits to me. It still requires a lot of self-restraint, but it's the best thing I could do until I go to college this fall. I literally cannot have junk food in the house or I will devour it immediately. And that's an excuse. And just like your mom doesn't really have to buy that stuff, you don't have to eat it just because you want to. Try this. Instead of eating the junk food immediately, make yourself wait half an hour while you drink a big glass of water and get something done. Take a walk, learn something, have a conversation with a friend or family member, stretch, do a bunch of push-ups and pull-ups, figure out a guitar riff, whatever. It doesn't matter as long as it requires your attention and active involvement. After a half an hour, if the craving is still there, have a limited portion and record it in your food log. Developing good habits and self-discipline is on you, not your family. And like any change, it does require some discomfort and sacrifice on your part. You have to do what you have to do, even when it's hard and you don't feel like it. I lost weight while living with my family that ate differently than me. I think it helped me to develop the ability to turn down food even when it's around me in my house. Tempting food is readily available in society, so being able to be around junk food and people with different eating habits while still maintaining a good diet is very useful. By having access to the food all the time, I also developed the ability to take portions in moderation. You say that you literally cannot have junk food in the house. What about at work or at events that you go to? What about if you ever have a spouse, roommate, or children? This is a skill you should learn and an opportunity to learn it. For me, it helps to portion the foods on a plate or in a bowl before eating. I was mindful of what I served myself. This wasn't a skill that I was born with, but something I had to build up over time. I did that by weighing and logging my food every time I ate, even when I was overeating. Then I tapered down and tried to find substitutes and additions that made the calorie deficit easier, like I would bulk up my food with vegetables. The family was eating tacos, I would have taco salad. The family was having chicken strips, I had chicken strips, but with a nice big side of broccoli. The family had chips, I had popcorn or grapes, stuff like that. Yes, when I moved away for university, I lost a lot of weight without trying. I found myself eating healthier, in the gym every day, and walking everywhere. Once back with family, I realized how unhealthy the food we'd eat on a daily basis was. Rice with every meal was the biggest vice. Asian background, with a lot of greasy food, and constant snacking and grazing. When I moved back home, I gained what I lost and then some. I had the same mindset as you, but I was able to discipline myself and lose it all again. I'm back to the weight I was at my healthiest. I didn't think it was possible, but it is. You can be healthy around family, it just means being disciplined enough to pass up on the junk food and making your own food. It's better to do what you can now than wanting to leave and potentially gaining more weight. My family, like yours, are pretty set in their ways, but prioritizing your own health and taking control is possible even if you're surrounded by junk food and people who aren't healthy. It's hard and a pain at times, but it does feel good to know that you can control yourself regardless of your environment. Yeah, my parents straight up don't know how to look after themselves. Traditionally served up big meals, never turned down dessert, and junk food was always pretty common. My brother and I grew up obese as a result, always served up meals big enough for adults as kids, etc. I was still living at home until I was 22, but I lost 30 kilos when I was 18, and I did it by taking more responsibility over what was going in my mouth, scraping off excess serve, buying/cooking my own dinner when I didn't approve of what they were having, going to the gym regularly, and running every night. ETA, main thing, don't just go with the flow. Looking after yourself is more important than hurting feelings. They'll get over it. And that's fair. My parents are super healthy, but they eat differently than I do. And I'm just less active. They are crazy active in their way, and where they live allows that. They eat healthy, but have on hand a lot of great things that add up. Fancy cheeses, nuts, homemade sourdough, jams, tea cakes, lots of rice, etc. And they live in a smallish university town or at a lake, neither of which are fun for me to walk around. No gym access. I hate working out at home, and I love walking or biking through the city. Either of their places in the country creep me out, plus rocks flying up from cars, etc. All this to say, I'm far less active and eat slightly more when I'm visiting or at the lake. Over the holidays, I was there for 3 weeks and did okay, still lost, but slower. In the city, I walk or bike every day or went to the gym, and now that I'm focused on weight loss, I eat accordingly. Anyhow, my point is, your surroundings absolutely affect how you eat and exercise. For many, it's much easier to be disciplined on your own because there isn't access to the poor choices that you might make, either because other people are partaking or because it's just there. It sounds like you know that moving out is the best option, and honestly, the motivation and energy that come from accomplishing goals and making progress probably transfer over to other areas in your life. Go for it and own it as a win and investment in yourself. And that brings us to the end, Narwhals. Please tap subscribe to join the original 100k Narwhals. And lastly, here's our featured Narwhal of the Day. At 285 pounds to 229 pounds, celebrating 55 pounds, gone forever.